Hello, hello. This is Paulina from Paulina Art Stuff, and we are back for part 3 of this color along in the book A Story of a Precious Cat by Nelco Neco. And we are coloring a lovely double page spread with this one, this lovely double page spread. As you can see, we're nowhere near done. Last time we did mostly work in the background. We did the trees all around, we did the sky, we did the grass, we did this, and we did some background on this grass as well. But that was it. That was how far we've gotten. And I did say that I might want to darken up the sky, but I do like this light fade, you know. So I think I will just leave it as is and first start coloring like whatever we haven't touched yet, and then once we've done that we can see if it needs more, you know, like yes, we still have the tombstones and that kind of stuff to do, but yeah, I think that's what we're gonna start with today, to color those, and then we will move on to the pathway and then probably the pumpkins or the house, either one of those, and of course this stony bit. So that's the plan for today, and we will see how far we will get, because I'm not sure if we can finish it today or that we need one more time for like the characters and such. I have no idea. It always takes a long time. That's something we all know. But yeah, let's just begin. Let's start with the gravestones. I think I would like a bluish or greenish tone. I think maybe that one is a bit dark, you see. So I think I'm gonna go for that one, the one that we also used on the grass. So we're gonna pick 155. These are all Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. And I will mention again, if you don't have Faber-Castell Polychromos, any colored pencil will do, as long as you pick something that looks like this, because we're not really like making advantage of the layering abilities of this type of pencil. So you can do it with wax pencils, you can do it with Kaloo or Artex, it doesn't really matter. Black Widow, you know, I'm just naming some, but you can use whatever you have. Don't go out and buy stuff just because I'm using this, because it will work perfectly fine with whatever pencil you use. Okay, let me take my pencil holder and let's start. What is our first pencil? 155 Helio Turquoise. Let me zoom you in, because otherwise we won't be able to see anything from these gravestones. Yeah, and let's do this. I'm excited to color some more. Do I like this in one shade, or do I also want to make it a little bit darker on the left? Let's see. Like made it like a gradient. Yeah, I think a gradient looks nice. I don't want it really dark, so I used light pressure. Whatever you do, don't press hard on this book, because the book does not like it. And you might get some of the color on the other side of the paper. That's what happened with my last color along while doing the pirate ship. That is why I now do like a base layer of watercolor and then I move on to this. Like for this one, I will do it a little bit darker next to those lines. Like that. I will also make this a bit darker, just so that it has some shading. And then I'll just fill in the rest of it. And that's all I will do for all of them. I don't want to make them gray, because gray is dull, like boring. You know what I mean? I don't like it. Okay, the fence we do the same. You just color it in flat color for the fence, because it's way too small anyway to do much with it. So I hope you're all having a lovely October month and have a lot of nice plans. My plans are mainly this color along, that's one. And then I'm in the middle of testing out some acrylic markers from the Molotow brand, which I will, I tested the what do you call them? The brush markers of the Molotow, which you can only get by buying like the empty one, or you have to buy the tips separately. That's the other option. Because I don't have any yet, I thought let's buy an empty one. So I tested it out in a video. You will probably either have seen it or you will see it soon. But I would like to buy a duo brush marker from them, or a duo acrylic marker. It's not a brush. It's like a tip with I think 1.5 millimeter and 4, if I'm correct. And they're like the hard type. They're not like the brush, or they are like the ones that you find on most markers that are pretty stiff. But yeah, so you get, on one side you get a big one from 4 millimeter, and on the other side you get a small one from 1.5. And it's apparently, it doesn't look like it is the plastic nib, and because of that I would like to try it. And the other option that they have is just the plain marker with a 2 millimeter nib. So that's the other option that I could test out. Like right now this looks like that. I like that. It's nice and like neutral, not too dark. I like it. So those are the two types that I would like to try out before I decide what I would like to use. Because I really like that brush marker, like the tip. But I don't know how well they will still do after a while of using them. They're still like really nice and thin and like really nice and to use on details, or if it gets worse over time, which it will, of course, because it will be used, so it will have some wear and tear. The question is, how long does it take before it's no longer doing what I want to do with it? And the same goes for those duo tip markers and the normal one from 2 millimeter. So that's what I would like to try. So when I do a next order, that's probably by the end of this month, because I always order supplies these days around the end of the month, and I've got a budget for myself that I will stick to. And normally I buy like Copic refills because I've got like the entire set now, and I'm buying refills for the ones that are like empty. So I've got a list that I will need refills for. I've bought quite a lot of them already. I think I'm like 2/3 through the list. I think I need maybe 1 or 2 more orders before I've got the ones that were empty for me. Then I have nowhere near all of them, but that's at least what I need for now. And if I want anything else that I want to test, like the Molotow marker or something, I just add it to the order, and that goes down from the budget. So if I buy all the stuff, I'll just buy less Copic refills that month. That's basically how I've been doing it. If I wanted to test anything, I just buy it with that order, because they always have a limit for when it's like free to ship. Because over here in the Netherlands, where I live, are not really a lot of art stores. There are some like a little bit away from me, but I can't travel like at all besides my town center. That's like 10 minutes from me, but there are no stores that sell that kind of product, like none. We've got a post office, some clothing, glasses shop, and some supermarkets, and like some other boring stuff. Nothing like an art store or a bookstore or anything like that. So it's not really an option for me to go in store, because I'm not able to travel like much further without someone taking me. But that is really like intensive for me, so I rather don't at all. So I always shop online. So, and the shop that I use is a German shop called Gesteker, I think. Don't know actually how you pronounce it in German, but that shop is the one I usually use. And otherwise I use Van den Busch and Worp, I think. I'm not even sure if that's also German. It could be. Could also be Dutch. I've got no idea. But those are usually the two shops. And Van Beek Art. That is probably a Dutch store. But those 3 shops are like the main websites that you can find most products on. But I like the Gesteker website the most because you can find basically anything. And they are barely like, usually they've got most of the stuff in stock. And if they don't, they will let you know that it might take a little while. And I'm okay with that, you know? So that's really good. I like their service. So that's why I usually look on their website. But they have a limit order of like €100 before it's free to ship. So that's my budget every month, €100 minimum. So I don't like, usually it's like 102, 103, 104, something like that range. So I make sure that that's what I order. And that's easily doable if you buy Copic refills, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, that's how I also bought all of my Copic markers at some point, like the Chow ones. And then I went on to the sketch marker. And that one I actually bought all in one go because that was like a really good deal to get all of them for like, I have no idea how much it was. It was a really good deal. It was like, it saved me at least €1,000. And that's a lot for something that is like usually a few thousand. Like I think it's like almost 3.6 normally. So you can imagine how much money that is. That's a lot of money. But I saved up a lot of money during the years. And I spend that on my markers and coloring books and other stuff. So yeah, I bought a lot of stuff with my savings. But now that I've got a lot, I'm just slowly building my backup supplies and stuff. Not necessarily buying a lot of books. Okay, I think this looks really nice. Like, look, really nice and still like muted enough that it doesn't pop too much. And that's what I wanted. So I like that. So yeah, that's my way of buying supplies. So yeah, I usually avoid buying like sets of everything straight away. I always want to test it out before I buy. Let's see, what would I like to do? Maybe I said we were gonna do the pathway, but I'm thinking that I might want to do the house first because it's annoying me that it's not done and it's a massive part of the background. So let's do the house first. Like I gave it a bit of a gray purplish tone because I had no idea what I wanted. But it's a nice base for like having some grip with pencils. I do really like the green tone that we used. So that could be an option. What else do we have? Because I want it quite dark, you know what I mean? So I think what I'm thinking right now is because there's light coming from the windows. So everything around the windows I want really dark, preferably. So it should be even darker on these parts because they are like deeper in the house. The only thing that I want light is this part. And maybe this side of the house because they're pumpkins. And everything else I want quite dark. So this one will also be a lot lighter because of that pumpkin over there. I didn't even give it orange. Do you see what I see? Oh boy. I forgot it again. And I even mentioned it in part 1. It's okay. We will figure it out. The first thing I want to do is make a orangey shadow around the windows so that you really have the feeling that it's warm light. So we're going to use this color, 111. So that's what we're going to start with. And my book is sliding away. That is called Cadmium Orange, 111. And we will be coloring it around the window. Let me move my book. Place it so that you can see all of the windows. So you see the window frame, yes? That's probably what I will color with this because I don't want to like go overly orangey. So I will just make like a glowing effect. So I will make it a light layer all around the window. Like that. That's it. And I will do that for all of them. So I first color in the sides of the window frame on all sides. And then I will just use like circling motions to make a glow. And I will do that for all the windows. All of them. And the door I also want a nice color. Like I'm actually sad that this one is also not like bright light or something, you know what I mean? That would be perfect. So yeah, we do this for all of them. I did not do that on this one either, but I also want that to give light. I just want them all the same basically. just because we can. I'm not being careful at all, as you can see, because that's not what this is about. This is just about a nice sheen. Let's also make the pumpkin a little bit orange on this side. There we go. Okay, last window. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, then the next thing we will do is we'll pick out a color for the front of the house. I think I want that green tone because I really like it. That's the same one as we used there. And I think I'm just going to use it all over the house, and then we will do the shaded parts with this color on top of it. Maybe, is that possible? No, probably not, but we will start with that one. 155 Helio Turquoise, the one that I called Hello Turquoise. It still makes me crack up because I call it Hello Turquoise, because that's what I read the first time. Let's do a really light layer all around. Like that. I think that's more than enough color for now. And then the side I want a bit darker. And the roofs I also want a lot darker, but I think I do want some of this on it. But because we already made it a bit darker with the base layer of watercolor, it will probably work just fine if we add this as well. See how dark it is compared to that? That's because of the base that we placed. I want the dark blue on that side. So the right of the house one, I want the shadow. I decided. So I want it to fade in the background. I don't want it to be too much of an eye catcher. I want them to be the main attraction, the little kitties and the pumpkins. So that's why I'm picking like the same colors that we use from the background, instead of making it a different color. That's why. Just so that you are aware of that. I'm also saving up for another pencil set, which I already told you probably like 10,000 times. Just like last part, when I told you again about my Inktober adventure in my sketchbook, blah da da da. I already did that twice, I think. I already told that story like twice. I did that, I think, in part 2 and in part 3 by now. Or part 1 and 2, I mean. But yeah, I keep repeating myself because there's quite some time in between when I filmed part 1 and part 2. Like this is part 3, but it has only been like 2 days ago that I filmed. So like 1.5. I think it was like 26th when I recorded last, and today it's 28th of September. So that's not a long time, you know, in between. So now I at least remember what I talked about last time. But yeah, by now I tested out my Molotov, and I was really happy with it. But I will have a video separately for that. And it was a mess. It was just one big mess. I had fun though. I had fun testing it out, but I did stupid stuff. But look at the bright side. The only thing that I didn't do is knock down the bottle of ink, the bottle of paint. It could have been worse, you know. If that would have happened, I would have definitely cried and would have been panic mode. But that did not happen, luckily. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It was not all bad. Yeah, I always test out my supplies before I buy a full set of something, so that I know I like it. Otherwise, I don't want to invest like all that money into it, because supplies are expensive, especially if you want like the quality big brand stuff. So yeah, that's why I always say in my videos whenever I do a color along, like don't go out buying stuff just because somebody is using it. Because you might not like it, you know. You might not like the Polychromos pencils. Maybe you're more of a wax person, you know, more waxy pencil like Prismacolor or, you know, that kind of stuff. Or Artex. Maybe you're happy with just an Artex pencil. It's all preference, you know, all personal preference. Like somebody can swear by Polychromos and the other will swear by Prismacolor, and they're completely different because I tested both of them. I like both of them, but for different reasons. So I can imagine why people swear by one brand and don't want to use a different one. I really like my Polychromos pencils because of what I can do with it. But I understand why people wouldn't want it, because you really need to layer it usually, you know? That's what its strength is. Layer upon layer upon layer. It's not as easy to like fill in a part and make it like nice and smooth and blended and blah da da da. That takes a lot of effort with Polychromos. I like this. Okay, the door. Do I want a lighter shade for the door, or do I also want the dark blue? I might go with the dark blue as well. What about these steps? This stony bit on the bottom. Maybe we should give that sand color. Hold up, I'm gonna pause real quick. Alright, and I'm back. That was a phone call from my brother, so I had to pick it up. But where were we? We were doing the house, yes. I want to do the stones and I want to do the roofs. Let's first do the roofs. We're gonna use Prussian blue 246, which is this lovely color. So something similar to that, if you don't have Polychromos. Let's go. Let's continue. I want to do the side of the roof. I did not do any of the other color on the other roofs, I just see. Let's just color in what I've not done yet and see how I like it. Because I don't think it needs the other color. I think I like this one better. Let's just color over it. Because I don't like it. Yes. Yeah, that looks nice. Good. Okay. This one. There we go. I really hope that we can do a lot today, because I love how it looks, and it only is getting better and better the further we get. I've done a lot of filming the last 3 days. And not just for this video, but also for like the Molotov markers, like I just told you, which I tested out on camera. Yeah, that was a mess. So yeah, I did do some filming. Let me put some shading below this part because of the overhang. I also think I want the door this color. Yeah, I think that's nice. A little bit on the side of the house. I've been watching all the videos with my most favorite Halloween books, my autumn plans, all that kind of videos I've been watching. And I loved seeing like all the other Halloween books. And I also like seeing the autumn pages, but I'm more like October. It's October, people. Why aren't you coloring Halloween pages? It's October. But maybe they just only do that in the end of October, like the 31st, when it actually is Halloween. I don't know how this is usually done, because this is my first year that I've been coloring. So I've got no idea how this goes, like what is normal around this time of year. Because it's literally the first time I'm doing this and being on YouTube and watching other YouTubers as well. So for me, it's all new. And I enjoy watching everybody's videos. Even if I don't own those books, I still like to watch them. Just because I like to see all the pictures out there. Even if it's something I would never color, I still like to see what everybody else is doing. That's also a hobby by itself, watching YouTube, seeing other people color their books. I really like it. I know I would, for instance, never buy a Hannah Carlson because it's just not my kind of style that I like. I've watched a lot of flip-through videos of her books, but it's just not speaking to me at all. Don't know why. It's definitely different than anybody else, that's for sure. And I know a lot of people are really a big fan of her, but to me, it's like, nah, I can live without. Because there are also a lot of portraits in it and a lot of people. Maybe that's also part of the reason why I'm not really into it. Because I don't prefer to color people. I prefer to color like plants and animals and other stuff. I know there are also a lot of animals in her books, but I just don't like it. I don't know why. Can't explain it. Just not for me. And that's perfectly okay, you know. I've got already enough books as is. So it's fine. If my niche is somewhere else, then there's still enough choice. That's the beauty of the coloring community. There's so many books out there that there is something for everyone. And I think it's even like, I think you're better off if you only like a few artists and have all of their books, for instance, you know, like the whole collection, for instance, because that would save you a lot of money. And it would also mean that you can color in them a lot more. But on the other hand, if you like everything, you've got even more choice. But to me, that would seem like it might get overwhelming really quick. Because I already have that issue right now, that I got really overwhelmed once I went over 50 books. I think I've got roughly 60 now or so, something like that. I don't know. I have not looked in my book how many I have. I think around 60, somewhere around that range. And I also know that I've got some books on my wish list, which are about 9, let me think, 3 Disney books, 3 Maria Troll, so that's 6. And then a Matchstick Mouse is 7. And what's her name? The one with the tiny people. Crystal Vogel, so that's 8. And what's the last one? Number 9 is the Tokumeku book, the new one. These are all the roofs, I think. Let me check. Yes. Okay, good. That's that then. Okay, so yeah, there are 9 on my wish list right now. And that's it. And then I'm done buying. But yeah, that means I'm probably more going like 65 to 70 range. That's a lot, people. That's a lot of books. Then I won't be able to color it in like one part in the first month and the other in the second month. That won't be possible. Then I might even have to split it up in 3 parts to color on a regular base. What do I want for the pathway? Let me open my reference picture. Like on the reference picture, there is a part that is like bright yellow with some like brownish orangey tone, and then it goes more into a dark purple with some brown tones in between. So I think that's what I want. So this part, I want to keep that bright. And I also want to use the same color, I think, on the sides. I think, because I think it will just look nice. Maybe purple with some brown could also be nice. Yeah, because we also need to color that. I think I want this dark. But I'm doubting because this is already dark. No, I think I should do this and this the same. So let me see. What do I have for options? Let me check. I'm looking at the purples. I think that one, maybe these two will be nice. A blue and a purple. And also for the house, maybe. Yeah, let's do these two. So let's start with 141. This is usually how it goes when I do these type of color alongs. This is not 141, this is 160. Where is my 141? Is it this one? Yes, Delft Blue. So it is called a blue. They call this Delft Blue? That's not Delft Blue. Look at that, that's not Delft Blue. Like, this looks more like Delft Blue to me. Like, what the heck? Somebody who named this doesn't know their colors. Okay, I'm going to use this for the shadow. Like, this part. If it wants to stick, that is. It's not really taking the pencil that well. So I'm doing it dark on the left and then blending it softer to the edge. Because this is the edge. And then this is the next layer. I want it a lot darker at the bottom. I want to at least finish the background if possible, because I don't like doing the background. Probably a lot of people feel the same way about backgrounds as me. If you do, let me know. I know that Jess from Calling Bumblebee doesn't like backgrounds, so usually she either leaves it white, like just the page, or she does something simple. And I agree with her. If it doesn't need anything, I'll leave it too, usually. It depends on the book. Sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. But I agree. Not doing a background is my preference. Unless I feel like I want to do it, you know? But most of the time, I prefer not to. Because it takes time away from like the stuff I enjoy a lot more. Okay. I think I like this. As you can see, I'm also skipping parts that I'm not coloring at all. I'm doing that for some variation, so that it has more depth. And I'm following the lines to decide where I want to color and where I don't, as you can see. Yeah, this type of background is still like, there's a lot going on, so you can do a lot with it. But some backgrounds are just straight up boring. There's nothing going on. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, there's not much to go on from, to go off on. Let's say it like that. Yeah, okay. Then I want this shaded. I'm just doing stripes from right to left or left to right, depending on how you do it. And just shade it in. I don't want it too dark, so I only do it on the right part of the house. Excuse me. Got some air coming up, and that's my book sliding again. Okay, let's take that bluish tone, 120, which is this one. It's like, you know, it's not really like, it's more like a violet blue. And it's called Ultramarine 120. Yeah, I really am a fan of this color. I really like it. And we're gonna use it on the left of this. So we're gonna just color this side of the stone. The reason I'm not picking like a gray tone or anything like that is because that makes it look really dull. Like, you can use that as a base color and then color over it with something else. Or use like a blue or purple as a base color and color over that. But it still will be really dull, like, because this looks like grayish to me. And I don't like things to be dull. I like color. That's why I'm usually going with shadow colors like blue and purple instead of like gray. I could have also done like the warm tones instead. So then I would have done a brownish tone on this side and a more muted, like this kind of tone on the left. So that it looks like the warm type of stone. So this is now cool tones, which I think looks better with the house. Because the warm tones are in the windows and around it. And that makes it pop even more. Because if I would make this warm, it would draw attention away from that and that. And that's not what I want. That's why I went with the purple instead. So for this part, I will just go over it. Probably won't take much anyway. Not really. Just a little bit here and there. That's okay. Even if it doesn't stick much, it still gives it a nice tone. I will leave some parts uncolored, that just the watercolor is shining through, just so that it has more depth. That's probably already enough. Oh, let me itch my nose. Yeah. I've got probably hairs. Like, this part was probably the same, but I don't like it. I don't know. And probably this was supposed to be also like that. I don't like it either. I don't know. It just looks weird. Why would there be something like that over here, you know? It's not a river, you know? Why is it high here and not there? You know what I mean? It looks weird. Why not just make it the same? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it because I don't want to change that. So now this part is pretty nice, but the steps are really like bleh. So let me color in a bit with this one, so that it's not completely like uncolored anymore. This is perfectly fine. Doesn't need much more. Good. Okay, now the pathway. I don't want to use the blue. Let's take out the blue. We're gonna do the pathway. So over here I want some yellow. So let's take my yellow, 185. It is this tone, 185, and it's called Naples Yellow. Really nice warm tone. And I'm gonna color this part of the pathway yellow behind her. And I think I want to do the same on this part, like this bit. Like make it yellowish on the side where the pumpkins are. Just like that. And I think that's about where I want it. I don't want it all the way over here. I just want it on this part. That part I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is more than enough. Okay, the next tone that I would like to take is a... Let's see. Do I want to go straight for that, or if I want... Let's see... I think I'm gonna go straight to that one because I want it to be like going into a darker tone really quick. So let's do 187, which is this one. And it's called, is that, yeah, Burnt Ochre. And we're gonna color next to the yellow. So let me move the book. So I'm literally gonna color a bit over it, like so. And then going around the whole place like that, going over the yellow a little bit, and then making it darker the further I go out. Then I'll just color this part with the color completely all the way up to the house, because I want this part not too dark. I want to keep that pretty light, but now it's like a nice brownish warm tone, which I wanted for this part of the road. And then the more we come to the front, the more dark I want it. So I'm not gonna color all the way to the side of the road. I'm just gonna like do a part of it, as you can see. But the paper is struggling to take any pencil for some reason. I also do some next to the pumpkin and all the way up till roughly that point. Something like that. Really nice and warm tone. Then like, because it goes all the way up to here, so I think it should go like something like that. So up till there, give or take. So a little bit here. Let me look at my book instead of my camera. It's always easier to see on the camera for some reason than if I look at the book. Pretty funny. Okay, and then I also color this part with that. Okay, let's move it a little bit. And because I already did some tones with the watercolor, you automatically get that this is darker than that part, you see? And that's what I wanted. I guess I have not been that neat with my watercolor base everywhere, but that's fine, you know. It doesn't need to be perfect. Nobody said that it needed to be perfect at all. Just have fun. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can get to the middle at all with this one. Probably not. Let me sharpen that, so I can actually go to the middle. I'm always using my Dala 133. That one. With you can like adjust it how sharp you want it. So if you turn it to the right like that, it becomes duller, and the other way you get sharper. And like the mechanism inside, if you can unscrew this, you can see the mechanism inside, but I'm not gonna do that right now. You could even like take that out and replace it if you would like, but I think it's cheaper to buy just a new one if it's like done and finished. But mine is still going strong after all these years. I think I've had it for like 5-6 years or something like that. I don't know exactly, but I've got it for a long time. And I used to color a lot with my colored pencils as well, so it has seen some sharpening in its time. It's not like I only used it in the weekends, you know what I mean? I used it every day, like multiple times, and it's still doing its job, still going strong. So that means it's a really good sharpener. Good. I should put it back in my pencil extender because my hand doesn't like it if I don't. But now at least we could get into the crack of the book, which is what I wanted. I'm putting my finger next to it so it doesn't go any further than what I would like, because otherwise I might color over the candy bit. Okay, I think I want it all the way up till there, and then it goes like that. So maybe a little bit underneath, and then a little bit there maybe. The only reason I pull it all the way up to there is because the pumpkin will be a lot darker, so I don't want the dark shade immediately against it. So that's why I did some over here as well, so that it's a little bit less. You've got more of a contrast then when we do that part. That's why I did that. Nope, it's my pencils that you heard over there. Fighting the spine again, and I think we won. Yeah, we won. I hate this part, I really do. This is one of my pet peeves with the books, that I want to color all the way in, and it's so difficult. But I've done it. Yes, we made it work. Okay, I think that's enough with this shade. Let me look over here, maybe a little bit below it, for the same exact reason which I just told you. Contrast. Otherwise, I'm afraid it won't show up at all. Okay, let's switch to a darker tone. Let me see what I would like. I think I would like a... Do I want that one? Or that one? Because I also want to go into like a purplish with black all the way in the front. Like make it really dark in the front. That's why I'm saying, do I want that one or that one? I think I first want that one, because going from that to that is a bit much. So I think I'm going to go for 283. Which is also the one that we used on the trees. It's called Burnt Sienna. I usually pick more colors than I might need, you know, just in case. So let's color this against the tree. Because I already have some purple underneath. It will look darker and different than the tree itself. As you can see, it doesn't look exactly the same as a tree. Because here we used black like underneath and went into that color. So this is the color that we're using right now. And you can see it looks different, you see? Because it's a purple underlayer. It looks different than over there with the brown underlayer. That's why I like having different colors underneath with the base layer. I'm also going to color this part and a bit of this, so that the root of the tree sticks out. Otherwise it might fade if I don't. That's why I'm doing it over there. Okay, come on, color that part please. And then I do the same with this part. I think I want to make it up till roughly like here. So I'm going to follow this line all the way. So roughly till that point. So yeah, and then we disappear behind the pumpkins again. So that's fine. That's roughly up till where I want to use this shade. And then I want to go a lot darker probably. I'll have a look first how it looks. And if I like it, I will go further with the other colors. Yeah, I want it a lot darker than what it was. And I knew that when I did the watercolor, but I thought let's start light because you can always go darker and not lighter. So if I wanted something else, I could have changed my mind. If I did not do that and did something much darker, you are not able to like switch it up that easily anymore. If I wanted to do anything else. Unless you're 100% certain that that's what you want, then of course you could just go straight away with the color you want. That's also an option, but I like to keep my options open. So that's why I did it like the way I did it. Oh, that itch is annoying. Let me pause for a minute because I need to get rid of it. Alright, I hope that helped. I just used a wet towel to wash my face. Hopefully that will solve the issue. Because I had hair stuck all over my face when I watched myself in the mirror. I think that was from my cuddling session before started filming. So yeah, that was my own fault. I came out of bed, you know, before, and I was making my food, as I usually do. And then I was cuddling with her while my food was getting ready, like my tea water and that stuff, you know. I was waiting for it while I was cuddling with her. And I think that's when it happened. But yeah, she's losing a lot of hair at the moment, so that's probably the reason why. She's shedding a lot of hairs. Okay, lovely brown. Look at that. Nice warm brown. So now it's still a warm brown on the ground. And it doesn't look completely even because of the underlayer and all the other shades that we used, which is what I want. I don't want it perfectly smooth because it's dirt, you know, it's a dirt path. At least that's what I'm making of it. And because the path is now a lot darker, it immediately has another tone to it, like as if it is actually evening. And that's also something that I wanted for this illustration. And also because we're making it darker, they pop a lot more, because before they blend in more with the background, and now they're starting to pop because there's more contrast behind them and around them, which is also a goal that I had. I was so happy yesterday when I found out the theme for Call of the Fairy Tales. She made a video yesterday afternoon for me. I think was around 5 o'clock or something in the afternoon. And I was like, oh yeah, the theme is Cinderella. I was like, yeah, having a party, you know, because I wanted that one for so long. Because one of my favorite pages in the book that I usually color in is a Cinderella page. So I was like, yeah, finally, I can do it. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm still happy. I look forward to it. But I'm still working on another page in that same book. Oh, I'm having my book on top of pencils. And now I've got the same issue again. Can I color that far in? No, not far enough. Okay, let me sharpen this as well. I hope it's not too loud. I usually sharpen all my pencils before I start, so I don't have to do this, but doing the spine is not the same, you know? I'm not even sure if I can go that far. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's use my finger to soften it up. Okay, let's put it back in my pencil holder. I think I succeeded in coloring the spine again. Gorgeous. I like it. Really pretty. Look at that. Nice brown color. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. All the way up till here. Let me see. So if it goes behind the pumpkin, so roughly around here. And then I want it here because I want that part also really dark. Okay, let's keep going. Let's use it also a little bit here. A little bit on that line. Yep. Some variation is also nice. Not doing everything the same. You might even make a colored pumpkin, like with some purples, for instance, or you know what I mean? So not only orangey red ones, but also purple ones. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I will like it. Just for some variation, because there's a lot of pumpkins. Making them all orange, I don't know. Maybe I would like some purple ones instead as well. We will see. I want to color some pumpkins today. So there's enough time to think about it. I'll be working on the path. Yeah, alright, I'm happy with this. Using quite a bit of pigment, not pressing like really hard, just like a little bit of pressure and then just going over it multiple times. You don't want to press too hard, as I already said 10,000 times for this book. It's best to just go over it multiple times instead of pressing really hard. It will mess up your book. I love coloring in this book. I think I've been coloring it every month since like the moment I think I found Amy Ward Arts group, and that's ever since then I have been coloring it every month. But like they already did some pages when I started coloring in this book. They already did the pirate ship and the tree house and the bathtub shortly after, as I call it a wash tub or something like that. But yeah, by now I've caught up, you know. That's what I felt like. That's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to catch up. So I was like at the same point as what they had. Because if they already picked that page, it will not come around again. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be where they were, so that I have everything colored that has been picked. So that's why I felt like I wanted to catch up. I also have seen Coloring Bumblebee color in this book on one of her live streams. She was coloring the washed up page. So a different one. Let me show you. Like the one that I'm talking about that I was catching up on was not that one. Where is it? It's also like, this is the one I'm talking about. That's a washing tub. You know what I mean? And the one that Coloring Bumblebee did was one where they are like this one. It's also a tub, but a different one. You see what I mean? So she did this one with that kind of thing, with sunflowers in the back. But she did a lovely job on this one. So I might want to do that one as well. But it has not been picked. But I like the way she did it. So I might do similar things. But my kitties are different than hers. But I think I want mainly the same colors that she used. I like them. That's also my color scheme that she used. So I think I might do that one, like when the weather is nicer again. So not this year, probably next year. I don't know. Whenever I've got time and I'm in the mood for something like that, I might do that. But for now, nope. Okay, I think I really like this part, that it's really nice and vibrant in the back. Let me see. Yeah, I like it. Okay, then we've got all of this and that part. I think I want a little bit of brown underneath here. Just some. So that it doesn't go immediately into a really dark tone. Okay, now let's switch. I'm going to put my brown over there. I think I'm going to just move some colored pencils to the left So I got a little bit more room in front of me because I'm having trouble with all the pencils. I want it to go into, let me open my reference again. I want it purple, brown, and black. So let's first do the black because I want to do the base layer with black. What is that? Like, look, it's completely dried up. My finger, see that part? And I'm getting stuck on it every single time. It's annoying. Okay, let's do the black. So we're going for black. And I'm gonna put my book like this. So I'm gonna just straight up color black this whole part that is left. All of it in this corner. Because I want this corner nice and dark. I think that's enough. And I'm also gonna do that below the pumpkin and over there. Same with this part. Nice and dark. I want it nice and dark. I always hated it when the art teacher at like high school told me that you shouldn't use black. Because I loved using black as a base color for making darker tones. And they always tell you like, don't use black. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I'm using my black. I love it. It makes it like such lovely tones that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get with just using the colored pencils. Like it dulls things, but that's nice if you want a muted color scheme, you know what I mean? So it's actually working in my favor if I do it. Like straight up black, I understand why you wouldn't want to use it, but as an undertone, definitely. Definitely nice. Let me move my book up like this. Maybe I should just move my camera a little bit. Let me move my camera a little bit because my desk is not bigger than a certain space, but I already have to put it pretty far up to see the bottom of the book, as you can see. So this is better. Now at least I don't have to put them on top of my colored pencil. It's almost on top of it, but not entirely. I might want to make this even darker, this bottom part, but for now we're just going to do a layer, just like everything else. You also have those lovely candy stuff to color. Like, where did they hide it? Did they just put it in their costumes? Don't they even have a bag to take it all? Is that why it's all on the ground? I think it is, because he has some in his outfit, next to his stomach. You know what I mean. I like it that there's candy everywhere. They're messy. They're a messy bunch. I've been reworking my intro disclaimer picture that I show in the beginning of my videos. And I've been trying to update my background for like, what do you call that? The thumbnail of the video. Whenever you click on it on YouTube, I'm trying to change that as well. Because I had it just like pretty plain and simple, but I think I want something else. I'm not sure though, so maybe you've seen it today, maybe you haven't, I don't know. Because I'm not sure yet what I definitely would like. Like right now it looks like this. It looks really like, yeah. What is this? Is this part of the pumpkin? Could be, but it's different. I think it should like be like that. A small corner that isn't a pumpkin. Something like that looks better. Because this one is like, you know, and that one is smaller, so yeah, I'm just making it up. Just making it up as I go. It's my book, I can do that, you know. I can decide what it will be. If it will be background, I think it should be, because it looks nicer than just orange in that corner. Okay, I want this part really dark. Let's color it with a nice amount of pigment. Okay, perfect. Really nice, yeah, and that's it. Then it's like done again. Okay, let's take the purple tone and start over there again. Let's see, where's the purple that I want? Which purple do I want? Do I want the bluish purple or that one? I think I want to go with that one. 141, the blue, the Delft blue. The one that's an insult for Delft blue. That one. That's the one I want to use. Okay, let's go over it. Yeah. I was just checking if this is still what I wanted, or if I wanted a dark brown instead. I think I like the purple better because the pumpkins will be warm tones, you know what I mean? So if I would make it a dark brown, it would blend in too much. I think it would be better with a purple next to it. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going for it anyway. That's the beauty of these things. I'm also going over this part a little bit to make it a little bit in the same tone. Somebody's talking really loud outside, and it's annoying because you don't hear what they say, but you hear like the bass in their voice, like, and it's just like echoing like from outside. They're probably somewhere upstairs because there are multiple levels on this building, and there's a lot of metal staircases, and that usually echoes everything that happens above. Like, for instance, if there are kids playing, you can really hear like ding, 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 ding if they're running. And that's the same with the talking. So I think that's what is happening, that it's just like echoing. That's why it sounds so bad. Because it's not that loud, you know? But it feels like it is because of that. Usually it's really quiet in the place that I live. I've got a really quiet neighborhood, luckily. Really happy for that because I sleep a lot during the day, so it's really good that it's nice and quiet. That makes me happy. I do have my ear plugs. I've got like custom made earplugs, especially for my ears, that actually fit in my ears because my ears are really small. They could barely make them for me because they put like a plug inside and then they fill it up with some kind of gooey stuff that then becomes hard, and they can take it out for like the shape of your ear. And they had so much trouble with my left ear because it's so small. My right ear is a little bit bigger, but still really small. Like, they could barely take it out or put the stuff in because that's how small it was. It was really, really thin. They were surprised because even kids don't have that small of an ear entrance. So yeah, they had trouble making it. And that also explains why I could never use normal earplugs that well, why they always would like pop out. I'm happy with them because they filter out a lot of like tones, you know. They don't filter out everything because you can still hear things through it, but it filters out a lot of the noisy stuff, which is good. I also put it in whenever I go places in the car and stuff like that, so I've got less input from outside. It's really helpful. Like, some people use headphones for that. I've got my earplugs, and I also have one of those sleeping masks. You know what I mean? Those things that you put in front of your eyes. I also have one of those in my bags at all times Because I also put that on when I'm traveling, so that I don't see all the cars and all the lights and everything while I'm in the passenger seat. Just to reduce any kind of input that is not necessary. Because otherwise driving somewhere would be not possible at all. I wouldn't even make it there. Yeah, it's really helpful to have all of those tools. And it's also helpful if you want to sleep without too much noise. Like during New Year, I usually put them in as well. Also during the day, because it's like people like fire off fireworks like even a week before New Year's, you know? So you basically got fireworks going off like I think about 2 weeks before it even happens. Like some of them are really early, but they're mostly kids just playing around with like the loud cracking and like bang, bang, that kind of stuff. The annoying stuff. Not the nice fireworks. Like the pretty stuff that you see on New Year's Eve. All the nice ones in the air. Those are the nice ones. The one that are just loud, they're not nice at all. Like, why would you waste your money on that? Like, I know some people like to fire it off, but it's not pretty to watch, and it's definitely not nice to hear for nobody, unless that's why they do it. I've never understood that kind of stuff. Like one year, when I was still living with my parents, when I was pretty young, one idiot bought one of those 10 meters long, or maybe even 50 meters long. It was like a giant mat of all those like bang, 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 like as if bombs go off. That's how loud it was. It was ridiculous. Like they put it on and it went on for like half an hour, like bam, 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 bam. No breaks. And it was so loud that everybody had to put hands on their ears. Like, what the heck were they thinking? Who in their right mind would buy something like that? It's probably even illegal, you know what I mean? I don't think that was a legal one. That's how loud it was. Like, why would you spend money on that? What's the fun in that, you know? I literally don't understand. Like, normal fireworks, yeah, I understand. Like, some crackers, yes, I understand. But something like that? No. No, just no. They shouldn't even sell that crap. Yeah, that was one time. I don't think after that I've heard one like that again. I think they were like, I think that was their experience, and they were like, yeah, I'm done. Maybe. That was a one time only. Crazy people. Like the whole street was filled with smoke afterwards. It was a mess. It was one big giant mess. They did clean most of it up, luckily. Like with some broomsticks and such. But it was still a lot of mess, because there was still a lot of it left as well. They didn't clean it up like really thoroughly, you know, so there was still a lot on the road the next day. That's usually the case. The next day there's still stuff on the roads. Most people are like decent and clean most of it up, but there's always someone that doesn't. And then it rains the next day, and then you've got all this stuff. You know exactly what I mean. Yeah. But then at least some, like the kids can't like try to fire it off again when it is wet. So that's a good thing. Because some kids go out the next day and try to find stuff that hasn't gone off yet and try to play with that, and that's dangerous. So it's actually good that it rains the day after. Like, I think I also want to put the purple a little bit into the brown. But let's first do this part that we done with the black before I do that. Just so that it blends in a little bit more. Because now it's a really stark difference between the bottom and the rest of the road. I did want it really nice and dark, like I have now, so that's good. That's a success. I'm watching a TV show on Sky Showtime, and it's called Mr. Robot, and it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know what to think of it. At some point you think like, oh yeah, now it's finally making sense. And then you get one of those episodes that you're like, is this again one of his delusions, or what is it this time? But it's not about him. It's about the girl in the show. There are multiple girls in the show. I don't want to spoil it. And like, is this now real? Or is this one of those mind fucks, as I call it? Like they try to mess you up, try to think that is one thing while it's actually something else going on. Like the whole thing is a mind trick, you know, the whole show actually. They show you something and that's not actually what goes on most of the time. That's what the whole show is based on, I think. Okay, let's go into the brown as well with the same color. Because I don't like the how it looks right now. But yeah, it's just a weird show. I don't know how to feel about it, but I've watched so much of it now that I also want to see the ending, you know? So I'm not stopping. I will keep going, but I don't no. I don't like it as much anymore. At first I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. But then it just becomes stranger and stranger, like the longer it goes on. And I'm like, I don't know what to feel about this, how to feel about it. I just don't know. And I still don't. I've even thought about just stopping, you know, just stop watching it. But I was like, no, I want to know how it ends. I want to know. Like, I like this, the way I went over with the purplish tone. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's also do that on the left. Like, this part looks pretty nice like that. You see what I mean? But this looks weird. Like, comparison with that. Let's fix this as well. Let's also shade some of this. So yeah, I've got no idea what to think about that show, how it's gonna end. I hope the ending is good, at least, you know, that it was worth to keep watching. But I'm not sure. Got no idea. We will see, I guess. I'm not at the end yet. Yeah, nah, still don't like it, but okay. Let's just keep going. The pencil doesn't want to grab on that much because I already placed down a lot of brown. So it doesn't like to go on as much. That's the problem, you know, with this paper. Normally what you could layer easily doesn't work on this paper. But this looks better than it was, so that's good. That was the goal, that it looked better than what it was. Because it was a lot worse. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let me zoom you out for a minute. There we go, look. I think this is lacking, like, I don't know. Maybe if we do the pumpkins it looks less weird. Because I do like how dark it is on the front now. Maybe this is a bit of too stark of a difference, I don't know. I like it, but I also don't. Like, this part needs a little bit more. I don't know, let's just keep going. That's usually what I do if I don't know if I like it. Just keep going. Usually it works itself out, because it's not like it's the same with the trees in the background. It's like, I don't know. But at some point you're like, yeah, this is actually really nice. Let's do some pumpkins. This one definitely needs to be orange, that's for sure. And I chose a whole lot of them. Okay, let's zoom you back in on that one. Just putting it here so we can do like maybe these two at the same time. But as you can see, I picked out the whole range. So I want to start with that one for the shading. And then we will see how far in we go. If we only stick with these two, like these three. Or if we skip one and go to that one. I don't know yet. But let's start with 217. Dark red for the shading, which is this one. Middle cadmium red, 217. And let's shade some of it. So I want to shade this part. And then, let's see what else. The sides. And then the same for this one. I'm working with the lines that has been drawn by the illustrator. So I'm not filling everything up. So this one. Let's see how it looks if we finish off this pumpkin. I'm just gonna first try it on this one and then see how it looks. And if it looks nice, we will do the same with all the other ones as well. Because I don't know how much I want to take this. My cat just woke up. I think she's gonna jump up. She might. Yep, she's jumping up on the left. Maybe you can hear her paws like gripping on the floor, trying to jump. She's not a great jumper. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, she tried to jump up, and she was hanging on like the Lion King scene, you know, with Scar, like ah. But there was stuff on the desk, and because of that, she slipped away with the whole stuff, everything. So she fell on the floor with all the stuff around her, and she was like, "Oh no!" Panic mode and running away, because she's really easily scared. She was like even more scared when I first got her. She's already doing a lot better now. Like before, when I first got her, she wouldn't even like show her face. She would just hide behind the curtain the whole day. And maybe by the end of the evening, she would show her face a little bit, but she wouldn't come anywhere near you. She was that scared. And I really had to gain her trust. And now she's doing like tons better. Yeah, I like this. Okay, let's take the next shade, which is 223, which is more like a red tone, like that one. 223. Deep red. And yeah, so she fell off the desk with all the stuff that was around her. And I wasn't angry or anything, you know. I was just like saying, oh no, like that, more like, you know. And then she still ran away. And then later down the line, I was cleaning it up when she was gone. And I'm just going to go over what I just did, because that makes a darker shade of this one. And that's what I wanted. Nice dark brownish red. I don't have a pencil that shade, so that's why I'm layering it. And so yeah, I was cleaning it up. And then she came back once I was almost done cleaning it. And she started to lick my hand like, "I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry that I did this." As if she'd done something wrong. I was like, "No, baby, you didn't do anything wrong." So I talked to her, you know, like, "No, it's okay," you know. And then she immediately started hugging me. Because she knew, like, okay, mommy's not angry. I barely get angry at her. Like, only when she does something that's really not nice, then I'm a bit grumpy. And I try not to get mad, you know. So I usually just start to ignore her if she does something I don't want her to do. Instead of saying no, like 3 times, then I'm like, okay, now it's time to ignore. And that usually works. Like, if she doesn't want to come with me to the, for instance, the hallway, because I want to close the door, and she's not coming, I'll just shut the door and pretend like I'm gone, you know, like, or do like a little bit, like leave it open a little bit and just go away and go out of sight so that she doesn't see me anymore. And then usually within 2 minutes she comes, because she doesn't want to be left behind, you know, on her own. So that's my trick. But yeah, she was really scared because she fell off the desk with all the stuff and things, but she just didn't jump high enough, you know. So that's why now she's hesitant to jump up, I guess. She has been like that ever since I got it, that she's hesitant to jump. But she's doing better, much better than before. She's being herself most of the time. Not that scary like cat that I got when I first had her. Now she's like really happy. Like I call her my little ballerina, my little princess, because she's like, she doesn't just walk. She like tipples, like boo, 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 like almost like hopping. I don't know how to explain it. Like really elegant. Yeah. She's also really, really tidy and clean. So that's why I call her a princess. Let me pull up the book for you so you can actually see what it looks like. Like, you see? Nice and dark brown red. It even looks a little bit orange because of the yellow next to it. I like it. Okay, the next one is 117, which is this orange. But yeah, she was really happy once I was just talking normally. Light cadmium red, 117, and there she is. Hey, Spooky. She's my cat, the one that I was just talking about. But Spooky, Mommy is doing a color along, so maybe you should go to your box. Toma, go to your box, please. Thank you. She has a carton box which she lies into. I think she's gonna lie into it. Let me show you. See? That's her box. Okay, back to the... Cute, huh? So yeah, that's her box. That's why I said go to your box. She likes it. She doesn't lay in normal baskets. Light cadmium red. So yeah, she has a carton box. And she loves it. I shouldn't buy her a cat bed because she wouldn't lay in it at all. Okay, let me color this side completely with this one. And the same with the bottom part. I want this really dark. Lovely dark orange. And then for this one, I'm just going to do a layer next to it. Like so. And a little bit on the right. And that's it, I think. Yep. I like it like that. Maybe a little bit below her arm. Yeah, I think this is nice. She's really well behaved. Before, she wouldn't even do this, you know. Now she knows. Like when Mommy's talking, she's probably filming and I can't lay on her book. Because usually when I'm coloring, she wants to lay on my coloring book. And I usually let her, you know. But then I will just make sure that she lays on the other side of the book while I work on the left. But that doesn't go like that smooth yet. But if I tell her like to go away and go to her basket, she does. So that's good. That's progress, you know, because before she didn't even do that. So she's learning it little by little. It has only been over a year that I had her. I got her May of last year, so that's pretty good, you know, for a cat that was that scared to be this trustful and this well behaved. Yeah, that's really good. Takes a lot of time for cats to adjust to the new situation. Like my previous cat was an orange one, and he was a big one. He was at least double her size. He was really big. So she's really small, but my old one was massive. It was like a real life what is his name? The orange thick cat, Garfield. That's how I call him. Like that's what my mom said I should have called him. It's like no, his name was Tiger. That's much more nice in my opinion. But yeah, he was pretty big and also pretty thick. He liked his food. Look how lovely, nice and dark. Okay, then we use these three colors. So now we'll use that one. And these two I want to use for the eyes and the inside of that. So the yellow we use for the inside to shade, and the orange will be this part. So that we can really like bang, you know. So we will first do 115 to finish up the rest of the pumpkin. Did we do this one? No. Dark cadmium orange, 115. It just looks a lot like the previous one, that's why. But yeah, so she's really well behaved, but she is also becoming herself, in my opinion, because before she didn't act like she sometimes does. And also when I'm asleep, she would like sleep at my feet on my bed. because my previous cat couldn't sleep with me on the bed. He would be in the living room because he would like terrorize me during the night. So he could not stay with me. But this one, she won't like stop meowing because she's afraid to be left behind. At first, I couldn't even leave her in the room, you know, like without going to the toilet. So she follows me wherever I go. She still does, which is fine, you know. She's allowed to do that. But she also goes with me to sleep every single night. Every time I go for a nap, she comes with me because she doesn't like to be alone, which is fine, you know. I accepted it because she doesn't wake me up when I'm asleep. She's really well behaved in that matter as well. So I was like, okay, then you can stay. I'm okay with you staying. But before, she slept on my, like on the part where my feet are, because they barely move because I'm not able to move my right leg. I'm able to move my left, but not my right. So they're usually like not moving a lot when I'm asleep. And I'm also not turning a lot because that's difficult. So she sleeps on the end of my bed. But lately, she has been coming closer and closer. So instead of on my feet, she was laying against my back, for instance, or against my stomach, or against my arm. So really, like really nice and close. Even close to my head even. So she now feels really comfortable to do that, you know. Before she didn't. Like she lays on top of my chest sometimes. That's what she does before we fall asleep, but not while we are asleep. But now she does. So when I wake up in the morning, sometimes she's on top of me. And sometimes she's next to me. I really like this. So now we're going to use the lighter orange, like the orange yellow tone. This one, 111, we're going to use for the inside. And it's called cadmium orange, 111. So yeah, that was really cute, you know. And it has been like, I think she has been sleeping like that now for like 2 or 3 days in a row, that close to me. I'm like, aw, it's getting better and better, you know. I'm really happy that she's finally relaxed enough to do that. She really trusts me because if she's scared and there's somebody in my house that she doesn't know and I call her, she comes. But as soon as she sees the animals, she's like, maybe not. Maybe I go back where I came from. But she does come every single time when I call her. And she will try it, you know, because if mommy says it's okay, it probably is. So that's really good that she finally has that trust. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think I like that. And now we take the yellow, which is Naples Yellow 185. And I will color over this inner part just to make it a little bit more warm. And then I want to color only the sides, not the whole eye part, just the sides. And the same with this, just the sides of the pumpkin. And I'll leave the rest just the color as is, maybe a little bit on the nose. Yeah, I like this. Let me see. I like it like that. Yes. So really bright on the inside. I only don't know what to do with the edge. Maybe it does need a little bit of light. Yeah, I like it. Okay, good. So yeah, that's that pumpkin. But she also has one on her stick. So I think I also want to do that the same way. But I like this. So now we will continue with the other ones. But I also want to make some purple ones. Let's see, which one should we do purple? I think we could do that one. Maybe that one. That one is nice and separate. Let me zoom you out. Let's look what we have. Because this is a really big one. I think that one will look also really nice with that. Maybe we should do that one purple, but then it will blend in a bit. Will it? Let's see. If we use these three, will it blend in? Maybe a little bit. I think we can get away with it. Like if we do that one purple, and then maybe that one as well. Maybe one in the back, and maybe one in that corner, like maybe that big one in between that one. Yeah, I think that would be nice. Let's just do that. Let's do a purple one on that one. Let's zoom back in. Let's try it. If I don't like it, then it's already done. If I don't. We start with 160. So we do the exact same. We start from the, like what we did with the dark red. 160, manganese violet. Oh, there's still a yellow inside. Didn't even notice it. 160, manganese violet. And let's start on the outside of the pumpkin. Just do the same as we just did. Only this time we only have 3 colors instead of 4. So we will not go over again on the purple. We just only do the 3 layers that we did on the other one, like 1, 2, and the light one, 3. So we will not do the same steps, but similar. I think I will like it to switch things up a little smidge. But yeah, it's really cute knowing that she is like trusting enough to come sleep with me. That close to me at least. It's cute. It's really cute. Also when I'm stitching, she comes closer and closer. She even lays like underneath my stitching, like really close on my legs. Because I stitch on my bed. And she just crawls underneath it, like as close as possible as she can. Okay, let's take the next one. It's adorable, don't you think? My other one always wanted to lay on my lap, so he was annoying. But that's different, that's one side of the spectrum, and this one is the other. Middle purple pink, because this one doesn't like to lie on my lap at all. She doesn't want to be picked up, none of that. And my old one was all about that. He only wanted attention, attention, attention. So this is the total opposite of him. But I'm okay with that, like it's fine. Every cat has its own character. She's also really adorable. For me, it was the most important if she would want to sleep with me and be nice on bed. If she wouldn't have wanted attention then I might have returned her to her owner, because I don't want a cat that is just laying and sleeping on her own all day long. I want a buddy, I want somebody to keep me company. Because that's why I had my cat in the first place. To accompany me with everything, because I'm always at home. So if she wouldn't be like a nice companion to have during the day, I wouldn't want her. I would want something else. Like, it doesn't matter what she looks like, hence why she's black, because the only thing I had like a less of a preference for was a black one. Everything else I would prefer, but yeah, she was black. So be it. And she was already 5 years old. I would have preferred her to be like tops 3 years old. So still an adult, but younger. But yeah, she wasn't. She was already 5 when I got her. But I still tried it anyway, because she seemed like it could work, light purple pink, 128. I never take a kitten because of my wheelchair. I'm afraid I would like roll over her or him, and I would just like squat, gone tail, gone paw, you know what I mean? Because I've got an electric wheelchair, which is like really heavy. So if I roll over something of the cat, it's broken probably. So yeah, if you have a kitten, that would be hell on earth, because I couldn't grab it. I couldn't do anything to stop it. So yeah, no kitten for me. So I always go for an adult cat, usually from like, this is my second cat actually. The other one was my first one. And that was from a rescue organization. He came from Greece. He was like captured from the streets. And because he was so like loving, they tried to adopt him. Because normally if they're not that like that, they put them back after like castrating them or helping them, if you know what I mean. But he was like really like lovey, and that's why they let him be adopted. Just like they would do with dogs. Yeah, I like this. I like the difference. It's still orangey, but with a purple hue. I like it. Yes, I like it. Okay, do the same on that one. So we start with the darker purple. 160, manganese violet. But yeah, this one I got from just a person. Look at that. Look how dirty. That's from this probably. But yeah, this one I got from a couple close, like in our vicinity. And I adopted her from them because they want to get rid of her because his new girlfriend, as I call it, was allergic to her. But instead of just taking medicine, they just want to get rid of a cat that was already 5 years old. And they also already got rid of her sister because she was being terrorized by the sister, which was twice her size. That's why she was also so scared and like afraid. She was like traumatized by that. So yeah, then I got her. But the man of the couple was really like, he didn't even sleep the night before he had to bring her to my place. So he was really feeling sick about like leaving his baby behind, which I can understand. I would never be able to do that, I think. But yeah, he was happy that that she was going to a good home. That's, I think, what was most important to him. And she has the best life ever here, you know, because I'm always at home and I've got all the attention for her. So she's happy. That's good. She just doesn't go outside because I don't want her outside, because I cannot really call her back in, because I don't have like a cat door or anything, and you're not allowed to place one where I live in my apartment complex. So yeah, that's not an option. So I keep her inside. 125 middle purple pink. But yeah, she was an outdoor cat, but she didn't go outdoor much, but she did go outside. So I said to them, if she shows any signs that she wants to go outside, I will bring her back, because she won't be happy then, because I want to keep her inside, because that's more comfortable for me. And then at least she won't get like flattened by a car. Let's just call it that, because that happens all the time over here. That's how most cats die, because they get like splattered by a car, like gone cat, or hit by a car, and then they hide and then they're dead. So no thank you. That's why I like to keep them inside. So yeah, when I got her, if I said if she shows any signs that she wants to go out, she will be coming back, because then I don't want her, because that would be like not nice for the cat, you know. She would be miserable if she couldn't go outside, if she really wanted that. So, but she didn't show any sign that she wanted to go out at all. She wouldn't like sit in front of the window meowing or next to a door, none of that. So she showed no sign of wanting to go out. So I was like, okay, this is going to work. And she still doesn't show any sign. Even if the door is open, she won't even go anywhere near it. Like, yes, she comes closer and closer now, but she has not tried to run out yet at all. So that's good. But yeah, that was the only like thing I said to them. That would be a deal breaker for me, because if she really wants to go out, I will not keep her. It will be really like not nice for the cat, you know. Okay, let's go to 128, the pink, light purple pink. And they agreed, you know, because they really wanted her to be able to go outside. And I was just being really honest. I'm not gonna let her out at all, because of my situation, also with my wheelchair, and because of the fact that all those cats get splattered around here because there are a lot of cars. It just happens everywhere over here. There are a lot of people living in these neighborhoods, and the chance of them getting in front of a car is just big. It's just the way it is over here in the Netherlands. You can't prevent it, you know. And she is okay with staying indoors, so happy days. And my previous cat was also happy to be indoors. As long as he got cuddles, everything was fine. He never attempted to go out either. He would just sit next to the door, look at me, and then the door closes and he just walked away again. That's how chill that one was. Yeah, that was a strange cat, my previous one. It was really, really cleany. Yeah, I like this. Let me pull it up for you so you can actually see the real colors. That's the real colors. So it's like a moody orange purple. So it's not exactly like purple. Okay, we're gonna do that one orange again. So we're gonna start with the 217 again. We're just gonna do all the pumpkins. I like them. I like how they're coming out. Okay. Let's do the same again. Like you can see the page number that I added myself, because usually it's not there. So usually this is not there. That's something I did myself with pen, because it's really hard to put page numbers in this book without. So that's why I did it with pen, so I could still read it even after coloring it. That's what I wanted. If you don't want it, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like my friend was like, do I have the wrong book? Because there were page numbers. my color along. I laughed so loud. I was like, no, girl, I numbered them. I numbered them. It's not you, it's me. I did that to my book. And she laughed, like so loud. I was just laughing with her. Like it was just cute, like, do I have the wrong book? Is that a different edition? Like, no, it's the same book. Yeah, it's funny when you have stuff like that happen. That would also be such a me action, to do something like that, to say something like that, like, do I have the different book? Yeah, that was funny. Sometimes you have funny things like that happen. Like it makes sense, but still, if you see like something written in black that looks the same as the line work, yeah, you're gonna doubt yourself. Brilliant. 223 deep red is the next one. Let me show you. That's this one. So any red would do. Just a little bit darker than normal red, That's what you would like for this one. Nice deep red. Would look perfect for this. Because I'm going for the muted tones. I'm not going for the really, like, it's still bright, but not like bright. It could be much brighter than this. The reason I'm going for a more muted tone on the pumpkin is so that the light inside will show up more. That's why I went with like a more of a red instead of like orange tones for the pumpkin. More contrast means like that it looks nicer. Usually, not always. Usually. Perfect. Okay, next one. We'll just do pumpkin by pumpkin today. So in case I get tired of them, I can switch to something else. Light cadmium red 117. Just means I have to add it a bit more. I'm okay. I will survive, I think. I did it to myself. I think a lot of people would prefer to do bit by bit instead of doing it like the same color all over the place like I normally do. So I just switch it up today, and with the previous part I did the same. I did bit by bit, Yes, at some point I did multiple trees at the same time, but that's fine. That's different. That's not exactly the same. But yeah, I just switch it up a little bit because it's boring doing like 10,000 pumpkins in one go. So I think it's best if we just also do something else in between once we've done quite a bit of pumpkins. And maybe I'm like, no, let's just do all of them. I'm okay today, like let's do all of them. That's also always possible, but that depends, like how I feel after I've done like 10 of them. How many are there? A lot. We will count them once I'm done. How about that? Once I've colored all the pumpkins, I will count them for you. Okay, and then the lightest shade is 115. That one. Dark cadmium orange, 115. And let's shade in the rest of the pumpkin. So yeah, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them. I will see what I can do to answer them. If I don't want to answer it, I will also let you know. But yeah, usually I'm pretty open about most of the things. So yeah, ask away. I was watching Art Journey, is that her name? I don't know if that's her YouTube name. I think it's Art Journey. She's decluttering her craft space. her art room, or art rooms, I should say. She had like one art room dedicated, and then she had a different room in which she had a lot of supplies. And she recently had a change in her situation, that somebody came to live with them. So she had to clean out the second room. Yeah, look how lovely. I like it. This one is a lot lighter, you see, than that one. For some reason. That's probably because of the watercolor that I did differently. It's fine. Then at least they look all different, you know? That's perfectly okay. Okay, let's use 111, which is, this one. Yeah, I'm smashing pencils on my desk. Cadmium orange, I think. Yes, cadmium orange, 111. And let's do the sides of the pumpkin's eye. I will not do all of it this time, I think. I want to keep those highlights. I think that will look nice. Yeah, it does. Nice. Very nice. So do you have any Halloween traditions where you live? Is there anything you do during Halloween? Like, I know some people go to like a pumpkin farm and make pictures with it, like with a pumpkin patch. Naples yellow, 185, but we've never done that over here. Never, because we don't celebrate Halloween at all. Like I told last time, we've got Saint Martin, which is basically trick or treat, but on the 11th of November. But we don't do Halloween. Some people do Halloween decorations, but that's about it. But we don't have any tradition besides that, you know? I did not do that on this one. We should also do it on this one. We forgot to do the yellow parts. So yeah, let me know if you have any Halloween traditions where you live. Because we have none. Okay, 111 cadmium orange for the sides. Like, yes, they've got all the Halloween stuff out in the stores like really early these days. Like, it was already there like 3 or 4 months. Like, I think it was end of July or something that everything went already up in the stores. Like, are you stupid? Like, it's nowhere near Halloween. Come on, people. Like, why? They even had the Christmas decor already out at the same time. So that you had one lane of Halloween, and then when you went around the corner, there was Christmas stuff. They were already building it then. Like, that stuff usually comes up, like the shows are like usually end of October, beginning of November, usually. They're really early most of the times. Let's do this one. So let's start with 217 middle cadmium red again. I think I will do a few pumpkins now at the same time instead of just one at a time. Because that is easier for me, so I don't have to switch up my pencil that much. Like, you've seen me do a few of them now, so you know how I'm gonna do them. So it's easier for you to follow along if I do multiple at the same time now. Instead of you thinking like, oh no, she went way too fast. Help, help. Because that happens sometimes. Then I usually go on a nice pace, and then all of a sudden it's like, and she's gone. She's gone. And you can't keep up. That's usually how it happens with my color alongs. And I'm aware of that. So I really try to go slow so that people can follow. But it's sometimes really hard. Like, look at that. And now we're going to do that on the next one as well. So the next one is that one. It's just really tiny. So instead of doing like everything, I only do like the sides really dark. Just the whole side. And for this one, we do a little bit. And a little bit at the bottom. A little bit there. That's it. Because it's so small. We do the same for these small ones. I don't want to bother with the purple for these ones. It's too much trouble for such small pumpkins. Like, when we get more to the foreground, I will try to do some purple ones. But for these ones, no. They're just gonna be red. Maybe that one I want to make purple. So we skip that one. Yep. Then we got 3 more. Do I want the purple one on this one? I don't want that one to be purple because it's too close to him. So I think if I do any of them, maybe that one. And otherwise, no, I don't want to do this one because the one on the left of that is already purple. So I think I want to do that one purple. So we're going to skip that one. Just to make it a little bit different. Not all of them will be the same. My sister started watching Wednesday, the TV show on Netflix. I've not watched it yet. I also still want to watch it. But apparently, according to people, it's pretty bad. The next season, like the second one. The first one was great, you know. But apparently number 2 is really bad. So I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But according to my sister, she's at episode 4 now. It was pretty boring. Not much had happened. They could have done that in one episode. That was her opinion. So that says enough. So I'm afraid it won't be that good. But I will still watch it anyway, you know. I will not give spoilers. Just so that you are aware if you're like listening to me. I will not give spoilers. Not from one, not from... Oh my god, I want to do that one purple. Then maybe I will do that one purple instead. Forgetting to make the purple pumpkin. Okay, this one we're gonna do orange. Yeah. I'm just going on automatic pilot. Not thinking too much. It's fine. Even if they all turn out orange, it's fine. I don't want that one purple either, so I will do that one next. I think I will just make that one purple instead. So be it. Sometimes you mess up. Bit of a difficult surface to do this. Come on. Okay, let's do these first that we did. Let's also do that one and then we switch color because we already did quite a lot of them. Do I want to do all of them? There are only a few more. Let's just do all of them. Yeah, I'm doing all of them. I decided I want to do all of them. Just have to remember that I wanted also some purple ones. So that I don't color all of them like this. Most of them, but not all. I've got no idea how long I've been recording on this one because I had to pause myself when I was on the phone with my brother and that stopped my recording. Okay, that one I want purple, so that one we will do orange. I think also I want that one purple, so we skip that one as well. The other ones can be red and orange. So yeah, I've got no idea, but this recording is now 1.5 hours long and I think I was already like recording for like 20 minutes, 25 maybe, I don't know. So let's just keep coloring. I think I should stop like around in about half an hour from now. I think I want to stop roughly, maybe a little bit longer than that, not too much longer, because then it's around dinner time in half an hour or so. So yeah, you will see. We won't finish it today, that's for sure. I think we will finish the pumpkins and that's about it. Then we only have the carrots left for next time. That would be fun. That will be fun. I'm not sad about that, but I already expected that to happen, but still I hoped we would be able to do a little bit more. I always hope, but it never happened. That one I want purple. Okay, so this one, do red. At least we will have the background done, because that was the part I was having a hard time with, as always. I actually like this background for a change, because there's a lot going on. But because there are so many pumpkins, at some point you're done with the pumpkins. That you're like, no, I think I'm good. I don't want any more. Like, I'm still at the point that I'm still enjoying myself coloring these pumpkins. It's pretty therapeutic doing the same thing all over again and again on every pumpkin. But I think if I would have to do 100 of them, I think I would have gone nuts by then. But we have not done 100 yet. That one we will skip. So we will do that one. And then we've got 2 more next to the house. 2 small ones. 3 actually, because there's also one hanging from the house. Keep forgetting that one. Should not forget that one. Remind myself, the one hanging on the house, Pauline. Don't forget the one hanging on the house. Yeah, I keep forgetting it. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I would like to watch. But that's good, you know. It's nice to have stuff to watch. And if I don't have anything to watch, I will just watch YouTube instead. That's also an option for me. That's something I like to do anyway. If I don't feel like watching any of my shows or a movie, I just put on YouTube anyway. Especially when I'm coloring, I just want to like listen to somebody talking to me. Yeah, okay, that one. Then we've got 2 more over here and that one. Let's start with this one before I forget the little bugger. Because I keep forgetting that he's there. Yeah, roughly, give or take. My watch is annoying me. It always happens every single day. That because I've got my arm laying on it, it starts to annoy me. That's just the way it goes, I guess. But yeah, I was talking about art journey. That wasn't what I was talking about. I already forgot what I was talking about. Let's go all the way back to that one. Let's take the next color, which is the 223 dark red, I think, or deep red. Deep red, 223. And she was decluttering, as I told you, and she was like going through her stuff, but she said in her last one, which is number 3, I think, declutter her craft room number 3, I think it was, that she felt ashamed of the amount of stuff she had accumulated over the years. And she actually like tried to record a video in the past of like certain, like I think bullet journal supplies, I don't know, a certain brand of stuff like that she used for bullet journaling, like sets that you could buy or something. And she said she was recording it, and while she was recording it, she felt her face becoming redder and redder because she was like really feeling ashamed of having so much stuff. And I understand, you know, that that's how she felt. So she never put it up. And she had the same feeling now when she was cleaning up. And I was like, oh, you know, don't be. Like, I understand that it's hard to realize that that's what you do, that you keep buying stuff. Because she gets influenced really quickly, she said. By, like, when she watches people and they use a certain supply, she would just buy it. Like, oh yeah, I see it. I want it. Buy it. Even if she never uses it, it will still be there. And that's what she kept doing and doing, you know, for years. That's what she has done for so long. And now she has to declutter. So it's actually a great help that she has to because of the situation. But it's still difficult, you know, to go through all your stuff. And at some point she was like, further down in her video, in number 2, I think that was, she was like singing Let It Go, you know, from Frozen, while she was like putting pencils on a stack that she might get rid of, that she needed to test for herself. Like, let it go, plop on the pile. Let it go, plop on the pile. I just had a great giggle when she was doing this. Like, yes, you go, girl, you go. Good, good, very good. And it just felt much better than her feeling bad about accumulating so much stuff. Because in the third one, she actually mentioned that she was in tears talking to her husband. And he said, like, did you go into debt by buying all of these supplies? She's like, no. Did you enjoy them when you bought them? Like, yes, I enjoyed it very much. The like ordering part, the getting it, unpacking it, etc., etc. And it was like, well, then there's no big deal. Like, it has served its purpose, and now it's time to let go. And I think that's helpful, if somebody like that says that to you, because it's true. Even if you know you bought way too much supplies, way too much stuff, and you're finally at that point that you want to let some of it go because you know you're never going to use it. And even if you get emotional by it, like if you didn't get into depth, you had like fun with it while it lasted, and that's it, and now you get rid of it, then yes, you might have like wasted some money in the long run because you still spend the money. You will never get that back, because even if you sell it, you always get less. But that's not the point. You enjoyed it at the time, so it was worth it for you at the time, and that you get rid of it now, that's only great, because that means you can declutter your space and make it more comfortable for yourself. So yeah, both ways is fine, as long as you don't get into trouble and feel comfortable with it, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't be comfortable with that much stuff. I wouldn't be. I know that from myself. So I try to limit myself, but it's difficult. So I understand the struggle. Everybody has the same struggle, I think, with like watching people on YouTube, seeing all the supplies, seeing all the lovely books. And it's easy to get into that trap of like, yeah, I'm buying that. And some people are more vulnerable for it than others, Some people can say no really easily. And others are like, yeah, I really like that. I'm buying it. Like impulse buying, for instance. I've done that as well. Like, no shame in that. But if you don't have the money, then yeah, maybe if you're like vulnerable for that, then maybe you shouldn't watch too much YouTube, or only watch people that don't do haul videos, for instance, all the time, because that is one of the big ones, that might be the most influential video that you could make as a YouTuber, I think. But yeah, it's all up to yourself, of course. Nobody's telling you that you can't do A, B, or C. So, but for me, I wouldn't be happy with that. And I'm just happy to see that she is working through her stuff and realizing what she wants and what she doesn't want anymore. That's good, If that's what she needs, then that's really good. So I'm happy for her that she's finally getting rid of stuff that she wanted to get rid of all along, but she just couldn't or didn't want to because it was too much. Because yeah, it's an emotional business getting rid of your stuff. Like I did a declutter as well not too long ago, and I don't have like tons and tons of stuff, but I still have a lot of stuff, But mostly they're art supplies that I already gained through the years, because I've always been coloring ever since I was a little kid. So I've got a lot of stuff in that regard because of that reason, not because of coloring my books necessarily. I already had them before. So yes, I do have a lot, but I felt like I bought too many books that I didn't like as much as I thought I would. So for instance, my mythographic books, I wasn't happy that I bought 5 of them because there were a lot of pages that I didn't like. I also made a video about that. And I got rid of the pages that I wouldn't want to color. So I made a folder, just ripped all the pages out of the books, and I made a folder with just the pages that I want to make, like the how do you call that? The curated book for me, with all the pages I want to color. So that means if you flip that folder, it has everything you want to color. So there's not a single page that you wouldn't like in that pile. And that's what I wanted, because I want to feel good whenever I flip through a book or a folder in this case. So that's why I did it. And I felt much better afterwards, you know, because before I felt overwhelmed if I look at my books for my mythographics, flip through them and think like there are at least 30 pages I don't like or that I don't want to color. And now I've got everything that I want to color. So it feels much, much better. And it also makes me grab it easier, I think. Like instead of like looking at it, flipping through, I'm like, no, no, no. And then feeling discouraged because there's so many pages I actually wouldn't want to color. And I like it when my books are completely colored from beginning to end. And if I know I have to color like at least 30 pages that I don't like, then I'm like basically my motivation goes down to zero. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to do it. So I will avoid it at all costs. Or at least try to. I will still make myself do it. But that's not fun. Making yourself do something that you don't want. That will be a disaster. You know, it will be a call for burnout, basically, if you keep doing it like that. So I was like, no, let's not do that. Instead, get rid of the ones you don't want to color. And there were a lot of them, people. There were a lot of pages that I didn't want to color. And the last one on top here. So yeah, I'm really happy that I did that, decluttering my mythographic books. And now I just have one folder with all my ones, the ones that I want. Not what everybody else is telling me to do or likes to do. Light cadmium red, and that felt so good. So I understand completely where she came from, because the first page that I ripped out of the book, my hands were like shaking, and I was almost hyperventilating because I was so emotional, and because I have a hard time letting go of stuff that I bought because I spent money on it, you know? And when I did that, I was feeling sick to my stomach, ripping out the first page. So I know exactly what she's going through, you know, feeling emotional, crying because of it. Like, that's just something you have to go through if you do stuff like that, because you are emotionally attached to your things, even if you think you're not. You probably are, even if it's just a little bit, you know? Like, look. So yeah, I had the same feeling back then when I was doing that. So I felt sorry, you know, when I heard that she said that she cried. I was like, oh, don't cry, don't be sad. But yeah, I was happy that her husband was really nice to her and said all those nice things. I was like, yes, that's exactly what I would have said as well. Because it's true. But yeah, I like watching her videos. She's always on an adventure. Whether it's decluttering or with her coloring itself, it's just nice to watch. But it's really refreshing hearing somebody talk about decluttering instead of buying all the stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Makes you think as well, you know, about everything that you own. Even if you're not gonna get rid of anything, it's still nice to go through the thought process about your own things and think like, is there anything I would like to do this to, you know, and that you want to like apply it to. For instance, it doesn't have to be your coloring supplies, it could also be just house decluttering, you know, getting rid of old clothes, for instance. That's also something I did actually not too long ago. I think last week I was going through my wardrobe because there are a lot of like clothing that I don't fit anymore because I gained a little bit of weight in the last few years. Not a whole lot. Like, I've always been underweight. That was my issue, you know. I couldn't gain weight. I only lose weight or lost weight all the time. Not anymore, luckily, but I did. Because I could eat like whatever, like anything, like a whole lot of food every single day. The whole day through I was eating and I would still lose weight. It was horrible. And that's what happened, like time after time after time. And I had to go on that astronaut like stuff, as I call it, like those little drinks with a lot of calories in them. I call it astronaut food, because there's a lot of calories in them and they're disgusting. And I had to go on them for like a year every single time when I lost so much weight. Then I would gain some weight. I would reach my minimum like BMI, and then they wouldn't give it anymore. And then you would go down like slowly. And after half a year later, you had to do it all over again. So I did that like 5 times. And then the 6th time, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this again after this. I want to be stable after this. So I said to the dietist, like, is there any way that you could prescribe this to me for a longer period of time so that I gain, like, instead of going to my minimum BMI, go to ideal BMI, like a little bit more, like 2 kilos more or 3 kilos more than what I should, like, be minimum. And she was like, yeah, I understand your issue, because she saw it in my file that that was the case. And she was like, the only thing that I could think of doing is prescribing a higher amount so that you get more of these flasks every single month. And then you can, like, hold back like 1 every day, for instance. So she would prescribe like 4 for 1 day instead of 3, so that I have 1 extra, and I put that to the side. And then for the next day the same, and I do that for all those months. And then by the time I reach my minimum BMI, when she's not allowed to prescribe them anymore, I would have a little bit of a stack, you know, from all those days, because usually it takes half a year before I reach that goal. And then I would have half a year's worth of 1 bottle for each day for another half a year, you know what I mean? So that's how we did it, and I kept using them. So I slowly went lower and lower with my intake of them. So I started still with 2 a day. So that's what I did for like a whole month afterwards. And then I went to 1 a day. And I tried to add in like protein powders in like my food, everything that was fluid. So yogurts, sauce, like for on your food, you know. I would add it to anything, basically, protein powder. That usually is used for babies to gain weight. That's what I would use in my food on everything. Everything that was fluid, it would go into. And that helped. So at the end, I had none left, but I gained 2 kilos extra than my minimum. I was like, hell yeah. And then I was stable for the longest time. Around 44, 45, no, 43 kilos, I think it was. Somewhere around 43, 44. Am I correct? Is that what I started with? That's what I started with. I was 50, 53. I was like, that's not correct. And that's what I was stable at for the longest time. I was really happy because I was finally stable. And then recently, I think beginning of this year, maybe end of last year, I gained weight out of nowhere. I was like, huh? What the hell? What is this? What is this like for sorcery? And I gained like 2 or 3 kilos. And I went up from 54 to like 57, 58. I was like, ooh, what is this? Not seen this before, that I gained weight out of nowhere. And it turns out my metabolism changed. My sister had that happen like much, much earlier than me, because I'm a triplet. So I should have had the same as them because my genetics are the same, but apparently my body is always delayed with everything. And the same was with this. So I got this like so many years after them, that my metabolism finally changed, that I also gained weight. I was like, hallelujah. I was really happy about it, but I should stabilize it, you know, because you don't want to gain too much weight. So that's what I did. So I changed a little bit of how I have to eat. So now I don't have to stuff my face with food all day long. Now I can actually eat like a normal person, give or take, you know, with normal meals, normal amounts even. I was like, oh, what a relief. Now I don't have to stuff myself all day long and feel like sick from eating. Oh, that was such a relief. And now I have been stable for quite some time. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, I think we are going to the next color, which is the last one for the pumpkin itself, which is 115 dark cadmium orange. So yeah, you know, most people struggle with gaining weight, and I always struggled with losing weight. Like I lost too much. So for me, it was a struggle to get to the weight that I should be. Instead of losing it, I had to gain it all the time. So it was actually a good problem to have, to finally gain something without trying. I was like, yeah. Like what makes you happy, you know? It's just a matter of perspective. If you've always been underweight and you can count all your ribs and everything, and you're like happy that it finally is healthy. Oh, such a relief. First that one. Yeah, I'm glad that it's finally better. And I have felt a lot better as well. I've been less sick and I have, well, not more energy, but I at least feel better, you know? I don't feel as weak when I wake up. I'm still really tired, but that's normal for me. But at least I don't get sick all the time, because I would get sick every single time. When somebody has something around me, I would have it. No questions, you know, I would have it. And now, I even skip some or two, you know? I don't get sick all the time. I still get sick, but a lot less. And that's also really nice. Because my immune system isn't the best. Still isn't. But at least I'm getting sick a lot less than I used to. Like last 2 months were a little bit of a dip, but I'm happy with how it is going lately. It has been much worse in the past. I like these pumpkins. I really like them. So nice and vibrant. Oh yes. I can't wait to color them. Those cute little faces. Okay, getting distracted by them. Every time I color next to a cat, I'm like, oh, shall I color it? Shall I? No, Pauline, we're gonna do that next time. Yeah, we're gonna do that next time in the last part. We're gonna make one more part after this, and that's when I'm gonna color the kitties. Because there's no way I can do all of them today, I think. And I don't think I want to try, because it's dinner time by the time we finish these. And I should eat then, you know? I don't want to make myself too tired so that I won't be able to color at all tomorrow. So let's just leave it at the pumpkins. Oh, they're so beautiful. I like them. I actually have a lot of fun coloring all of these today. I expected I wouldn't. So it's good that I did actually enjoy them a lot. We're not done yet because we still need to do 2 purple ones. But after we've done those, we have done all of them. I bought some new sweaters last week as well. Because I've been looking at the website where I usually buy sweaters from, like month after month after month, without clicking the buy button, because I have a hard time buying clothes. That's the only thing I'm not good at, buying clothing. That's a hard thing for me. So I finally bought myself some new sweaters. So I ordered 4 of them, of which I knew probably 2 or 3 of them would probably fit me really well. And number 4 was a gamble, because I haven't had something like that before. So I bought them, and then number 4, which was like my favorite of the 4 of them, was really soft, and I wanted to hug it. That's how soft it was. And then I put it on. I was like, oh no! Like the sleeves, instead of it going like nicely till there, it was like somewhere up here, like as if you're wearing a pants that's too short. Like no people, I want a long sleeve. What is this? So it was way too short. So I was like, no, because I really liked it. I liked the sweater, but it was way too short. Not just a little bit, way too short. And it was like one of those warm ones that you really want to wear when it's really cold, when it's freezing. And I was like, no, if it's freezing, I definitely want those sleeves. So no, it's not gonna work, Pauline. Put it off and put it back in the box. So that's what I did, but I had a hard time doing it because I was like, no, my favorite one is not good. So I was a bit sad, but the other ones, the other 3 that I bought, were actually fitting me quite well. So that made up for it, but still I was so sad about that one sweater because it was the perfect color. It had like this really like like this kind of, no, more like this kind of pink, more like that kind of pink it was. And that's my favorite, like a really muted pink. And I was like, oh, it's perfect. And it was fluffy and soft, and I was like, yeah, I like this. Yeah, but it didn't fit, unfortunately. Such a shame. Like, I know I've got long arms, but still, they were really short. Like, for a fluffy sweater, it should be bigger. Way bigger. It was also pretty small for its size. It felt more like a small instead of a medium. So, yeah. I usually buy a medium. Like, before I always needed a small. But these days I can get away with medium. And I like them to be a bit, like, bigger on me. Because I don't like it if it's too fitted. It hurts my body if something is too fitted. So I like it to be a loose fit. But yeah, on my body it was perfectly fine. But my arms, not gonna work. Okay, only these small ones. And then we're gonna do the purple ones. And then we will do the eyes last on all of them. I like it. And the small one. The little one over here needs some color too. Yes, lovely. Okay, let's go all the way back. No, not to that one. Purple one, Pauline. That one. That one needs to be purple. Okay, let's start with the darkest purple. That is this one, 160. Manganese violet. Let's make some purple ones. I'm curious what I will get done this month. Like, I had a lot of plans for September, and I also have done a lot of them. So that's good, you know. I was really happy with what I got done. At some point I thought I wouldn't get around to some pages at the end of the month because I wasn't like that energized, you know. And I wanted to do this one as well, which also takes up a lot of time. Which is fine, you know, because it was also on my plans. But I had a few days that I barely did anything because I just couldn't. I was too tired. I had to sleep instead. Let me sharpen this because I can't get in there. So yeah, at some point I was like halfway down my plans and I was like, I don't think I will be able to finish all of these at least once. And I'm right, because I couldn't. But you will have seen that by now, what I finished. Will be in my completed pages video for September, which will have been gone live on the 1st of October probably. Usually I upload it then, so you will have seen that probably by now. But yeah, I was happy with what I got done, really happy. Of course I always want to get more done because that's just the way it goes with everyone, but I'm really happy with what I achieve every month. Like, if you imagine that before, when I was like even worse than I am now, I only call it maybe one page in like a month, maybe even 3 months. And there were months that I didn't do anything. Like, I think I call it 5 pages in a whole year. That's how bad it was. And that was when I only had 2 coloring books. And this is not this one. It was a different one. It was a Hannah Lynn one and a Randall Spangler one. Those were the 2 coloring books that I owned back then. So those were the ones that I colored in. And I only colored like very few of them, if I colored at all. There were even a few years that I didn't do anything, like nothing, no drawing, no nothing. So I was just like, I think that was almost 2 whole years that I didn't do anything. I wasn't able to. I couldn't even hold the pencil, let alone do something with it. So when I finally improved after doing all that diamond painting that I did from 2018 onwards, I was so happy when 2020 came around and I started coloring more and drawing more. Until finally this year I found out about coloring books. I don't even know how I found out that that was a thing. I must have seen it on YouTube or something. I've got no idea how I found out about this whole community. Because yes, I knew there were coloring books, but back then it was only Johanna Basford, and that is not for me. It's just not my kind of thing I like to color. I like the cute ones, like the story type of books, like the Tokumeku series and this. That's what I like, and there was none of that back then, or at least none of that I was aware of. There probably were a few, like Sketchbook Mouse, like the Yururi, Field Mouse Yururi Travel Sketchbook, I think it is called. That was one of the first Tokumeku books, and I think that came out like 2014, 15, something around that time. But I wasn't aware of them back then because I was not into coloring books at all. I was making my own art and coloring that and doing Disney fan art. So I had no business looking at that stuff. So I have no idea how I actually rolled into the coloring books. Can't actually remember. Doesn't matter, but I'm glad I did. Middle Purple Pink, 125. I'm glad I did roll into it because I love it. I really love it. And there's a lot of choice as well. A lot of lovely books. Excuse me. Yeah, the cough is still ongoing, but it's only once in a while, you know? It's not like a full-on coughing fit. It's just like once or so often I need to cough and it comes loose. And that's good because sometimes I feel a bit congested, I think is the word. Like hard to breathe, you know? That's the feeling I get when it gets really bad. As if I can't breathe, which I can, but it's just more difficult because of my lungs being messed up from having a cold and a cough. When I lay down, I start to like making that kind of sounds, like those squeaking sounds. And that's when I really feel like I can't breathe. Well, I can, but just really difficult. That's the part that I don't like, you know, that it's getting that bad. Luckily, it's not up to that point yet, and I hope it won't get there. I hope it will stick to what it is now and go away soon, so that I don't have to go through all that mumbo jumbo, because it's not nice. Okay, look how lovely. We only need to add the pink to that one, so first we're gonna do this. Yeah, I think I want to color this all the way. Yeah, I like it. Nice and vibrant. I'm actually curious of what it will look like once I finish them, you know. Like, yes, they already have most of the colors that I want them to be, but for some reason they always turn out a little bit different once it is really done. And I'm curious what I will pick, especially for the little ghost fella, the little one, because he only has a little bit of purple on him, and that's it. I'm curious what I will pick for him. I have no idea yet. I've not thought about it. We will know by next time. Yes, we will know. I'm glad I decided to do longer parts, because that means it won't be a 7-part video. It will only be 4 parts, I think, if I'm correct. If I didn't miscount. That's better. So yeah, if I do a big one, I will just make it longer episodes so that there are less parts to it. So I like that a lot better. Okay, and there was one more, I believe. Yeah, over here. Let's see if I like it. This one needs a little bit more pigment. It looks a little bit blend compared to the rest of the pumpkin. Okay, let's take the last tone for the pink or the purple pumpkins. The light purple pink, 128 is the last one for the pumpkins, and then we do the eyes of the pumpkins. That's a pigeon. I thought it's an owl, but it is a pigeon. We don't have much owls around here. We usually have pigeons. Like, woo woo, woo woo. That's a pigeon. It's not an owl. I always think of an owl when I hear it, but there are no owls. That's not an owl, that's a pigeon. But it still sounds fun to think it's an owl. When we were camping, when we were little, we would hear this all the time. But then there would be owls where we were camping. And you could even find them. If you follow the sound, you could find them in the trees. But they were usually like really small owls. Really small, not those big ones. Like always the small ones, the brown ones. Really small. But yeah, they sound different than a pigeon. But I always think of the owl when I hear it. Yeah, I like it. You could blend this out, of course, more with wax pencils, but with the polychromos, it doesn't like to layer at all, so it doesn't get much better than this for some reason. Oh, go back. My book slipped again. I got it propped up against my camera stand because there's no more space to the left. It's just the way it is. I'm getting used to it by now, but still, I sometimes let my book slip. I'm like, no, come back, come back. Yeah, I like it. He's really active, the pigeon. Keeps doing it, making the sound. I like it. I like the sound. Alright, that's that. Look at that. It's not really purple, but it has a purple hue to it. Okay, the eyes of the pumpkins, because we've not done those yet. So let's first do the orangey tone, 111, cadmium orange. Let's see where I left off. I think I've not done that one. I've done the one on the bottom left, and that's it. Okay, good. Okay, let's do these. There's not much to color anyway, because it already has a lot of color. Because of the watercolor. Okay. That one has none. So most of these probably, these ones have. A lot of them don't have any of those lines because they're too small. So it's fine. We just have a look. And the big one. Oh. Book is moving. Yeah, it immediately starts to come alive with the orange in the mouth. I like it. Even more. I like the way they look, which is good because I was afraid it might not turn out like I wanted it to. So I'm glad it did turn out nice. Sometimes you regret the decision, you know, after you made it and you don't like the result as much as you thought you would. But with this one, it's definitely nice. Because I did a purple undertone for the pumpkins and then I did orange with a watercolor. And it actually looks really nice. Okay, let's grab the yellow. 185. Naples yellow, yes, 185. Okay, let's put some shadow in there. And then we call it done for today. We'll be continuing next time with the characters. We've got a lot done today anyway, so I'm not sad, you know, that we didn't get around to the characters. At least we saved the best for last. That's usually what I do, so I stay motivated to finish it. Because if I would have done them first, and I would have to do all of this afterwards, I would be so bored. Because then I wouldn't have much energy left to finish it. Because I was like, nah, there's no way I'm gonna finish this. Well, I would, but it would be much harder to pull through. Because you've already done the part that you like the best, you know what I mean? Usually if you save something you like a lot till the end, it goes a lot easier. So that's why I usually don't do them till last, because of that reason. Okay, did I miss anything on the pumpkins? I don't think so. Let me have a look. Don't think so. Did I do these ones? I don't think so. The ones next to the house, I'm not sure if I did them. I don't think I did. Then we've got the house itself. Let's also add some yellow in there to the houses. Yeah, really nice. Okay, I think that's it. Let me zoom you out. And let's have another look. I think I did all of them. Yeah, it's mainly in frame now. There's only a part on the left and a part on the right that you don't see. Well, actually a whole lot, because look, there's a whole pumpkin. See? Well, I will just leave it somewhere in the middle for you to look at. Yeah, I really like it now. Now that I look at it, can I zoom you a bit out, maybe? No, it's not letting me. Then I have to zoom out a lot more, and I don't want to. Like, I will just do it like this. Then you can see the sky and the floor. Like, I like how light it is there and how dark and moody it is over here. I think it works because I still use quite bright colors over here and here, and then it becomes moodier to the side. I think I like it like that. I don't think the sky needs to be more dark, because we've got the darkness now here to compensate. And they will also have a lot more color once we've finished. Yeah, I think it works. I think it works quite well. So I don't think we have to do anything to the sky. So that's good news. So next time we're going to do the kitties and the candy, because we also still have the candy. And we've got the what do you call those? Those things from the pumpkins. The stale from the pumpkin. That's how I call it. That's Dutch. Okay. That one. No idea. Oh, and the stick. Also the stick we need to do. Okay. Yeah, so that's for next time, people. I hope you enjoyed today's blabbering and color along. I had fun. Yeah, this was fun, doing all the pumpkins. And it brings the picture to life. It really does. So I'm happy I did it. And next time we can have the most fun with the characters, because that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, I'm happy. I'll see you for part 4. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for the next one. Bye bye.